point of all Western alphabets, the Phoenician one of 3,000 years ago, we have no knowledge of the letters' meanings. Each of the characters of the Hebrew alphabet is named after a corresponding object. In Hebrew, the alphabet has almost the same order as the familiar Roman alphabet in which this book is set. The first letter is A, the second B, and so on. As with the Greek, Ogham and Gaelic alphabets, each Hebrew character also has a numerical equivalent. The first letter of the Hebrew alphabet is alef, the equivalent of the Roman letter A. This has the exoteric meaning of cattle or ox, and the esoteric meaning of wealth. Probably, the letter's shape is derived from the pictogram for a cow's or bull's horned head. As the first character, it reflects the concerns of a pastoral society with the main source of wealth: cattle. In traditional society, the cow was the animal upon which all humans depended, as from her comes milk, horn, hides and meat. The esoteric meaning of alef is thus absolute independence from others, self-sufficiency, but recognizing that this condition can exist only in equilibrium with surround. 14. The Hebrew alphabet. In existence, both on the material and also on the spiritual planes. Thus alef may be taken as representing the Hermetic maxim, as above, so below. Esoterically, as the first letter, it is a manifestation of the father, the ruler of the family in patriarchal societies like ancient Israel. Alef has the numerical equivalent of 1, which is Akkad, meaning unity. Astrologically, it is linked with Taurus, and the constellation Orion. Beth is the second Hebrew letter, with the equivalent value of B. Its meaning is house, and its shape is clearly derived from a pictogram of a house. The house is that human artifact which expresses the will of having arrived and meaning to stay. It represents stability, ownership and continuity of the family in one place. Beth is the possession of one's own ancestral property. In its position as the zenith, Beth signifies the enclosure of space, the roof that is the defining nature of the house. It can also mean the family, reproduction and progeny, continuity of the bloodline in the family homestead. In this aspect, it represents the mother. On a higher level, this letter is Bethei, the house of God. Here, it is the letter of creation, the first letter of Genesis. The numerical value of Beth is 2, Shni, that which repeats, the essence of creation. Astronomically, Beth is allied with the constellation of Cassiopeia. Gimel is the third. Its value is G, and it has the meaning of camel. The camel is the means of traveling through the desert with safety. It can carry humans and goods for vast distances unaffected by the hot, dry conditions. Thus the camel signifies the ability to get through bad places or bad times successfully. It represents self-reliance and inner strength through being in harmony with the prevailing conditions. An esoteric interpretation of Gimel is thus nature, which, without human interference, is always a self-regulating system. The numerical value of Gimel is 3, Shalosh, the triad. Astrologically, it is connected with Virgo. Daleth, the door, is the fourth letter, with a value of D. Unlike the walls of a house or town, which cannot be penetrated, the door allows access. But this access is selective. The door excludes those who should not enter, and admits those who should. The outcome differs, depending on whether. 15. Magical alphabets. The door is shut or open. In this aspect, Daleth therefore represents opening and shutting, access and denial of access. Esoterically, Daleth is thus authority. It is interesting to note that in both the Ogham and runic alphabets the letters with the value of D, Dui and Dag, have an identical meaning. As a double letter, Daleth represents knowledge and ignorance, well symbolized by the open or closed door. Daleth's numerical equivalent is 4, Abba, 4 square. He, H, the fifth character, signifies a window, that which admits light into a building. Unlike the door, the previous character, Daleth, which admits humans, the window admits only light and air. It is the place which links the inner world of the house with the outer wood surrounding it. Similarly, in human terms, according to the Sfer Yetzirah, he is the foundation of sight. Sight links the inner world of the individual with the outer world of his or her surrounding environment, enabling control to be exerted. He is thus a letter of linking the inner with the outer, and one of illumination. Esoterically, he is religion, that which links people together with each other, and with the divine outside them. He has the number equivalent of 5, which is Kamesh, armed. Astrologically, he is linked with Aries. Vor, the sixth, with the phonetic value of V, represents a nail, doorknob or small hook. The bright head of the nail reflects the light of day. Traditionally, nails have been used in a form of divination in which the patterns of sunlight reflected from the nail head is interpreted as a letter or letters, providing the answer to any question posed. The nail is also the pivot around which the heavens circle, and Vor is thus connected with the 24-hour day and time. In the human being, the character Vor is connected with the hearing and, esoterically, it has the meaning of liberty. In this respect, the attribution of doorknob, that which opens the door, is appropriate. Vor has the numerical value of 6, Shish, meaning white or bright. Zayin, the seventh letter, means sword or more generally weapon or decorated staff. As the sword, it is usually interpreted as the sword in its scabbard, at rest. Thus Zayin has the meaning of repose and forgiveness under the guidance of 16. The Hebrew alphabet. Authority. Esoterically, it has the meaning of ownership, that which needs to be defended. This links it with the whole complex mythos of the sword, the militarism of the ancient world, and later European chivalry. It has a value of Z. Zayin's numerical equivalent is 7, Shpe, at rest. The eighth character is Chet or Heth. Its equivalent is Ch, and it means fence or hurdle. The fence is that which divides the inner from the outer. It is a barrier which serves an owner of something. It keeps those things in which the owner wants kept in, and keeps out those things which must be excluded. It is thus a letter of discrimination, the separation of things of worth from the worthless. Another related interpretation of Chet is abundance and energy, the basic characteristics that separate the living from the dead. Esoterically, Chet means distribution, the primary function of energy. It has the number equivalent of 8, Shmona, fertility, and is connected astrologically with Libra. The ninth is Teth, the letter T, the serpent. Teth represents organic unity. It is the brazen serpent of the Old Testament, Aaron's rod, a Jewish parallel with the magic staff of Hermes, the caduceus and the Christian cross of Christ. Organic unity can only exist when the universal flow of energy maintains it, and this is represented in all cultures by the serpent, dragon, Nwiva or Orm. Esoterically, Teth signifies the quality of prudence, with the numerical value of 9, She, the gate. Yod or Jod is the 10th character, with the phonetic value of 1. It means the hand, and signifies completion and fullness. The hand is the organ by means of which all human intellectual ingenuity is translated into physical reality. Human control of anything is through the power and agility of the hands, and thus Yod's esoteric meaning is order, destiny as directed by God. This meaning parallels that of the Greek letter iota, which also means destiny. Yod's numerical equivalent is 10, Isa, or Kaf, the 11th, means the palm of the hand. It has the phonetic value of K. The palm is an important part of the body, for it is from there that radiates the bodily energy known variously as Pneuma, Ond, Oda and Nwiva. It is best. 17. Magical alphabets. Known from the Oriental martial arts as Ki. This is the subtle energy that is involved in healing from the laying on of the hands, and in the spectacular feats associated with the martial arts. In Christian symbolism, the palms of Jesus are pierced with the crucifying nails, destroying his ability to radiate beneficial healing energy. The radiation of energy from the palms is depicted sometimes in images of the Virgin. Esoterically, Kaf has the meaning of force, and the number equivalent of 20. Astrologically, Kaf is allied with Leo. Lamed, the 12th letter, with the value of L, represents the tool known as an ox goad or cattle prod. This is the character that encapsulates the quality of getting things going. This parallels its companion letters in Greek and Runic, where the letters which stand for L, lambda and lagu, are also to do with flow and progress. Lamed is the directed energy that one requires to initiate any action, and the sacrifices that one must inevitably incur in the process. The esoteric significance of lamed is thus sacrifice. Lamed's numerical equivalent is 30. Mem, the 13th, has a value of M. Exoterically, Mem signifies water. This represents flow, flux, more esoterically, the changes brought about by death. As the 13th character, it bears the same esoteric significance as the 13th letter in the other main alphabets. It is related by its common Phoenician origin to the Greek letter mu, also originally the 13th letter of the Greek alphabet. It can signify the fixed stars, and hence represents the fatalistic astrological interpretation of human destiny. Its astrological correspondence is the constellation of Draco. Mem has the numerical value of 40, a number of completion in Jewish tradition. Nun, the 14th, represents a fish. It has the value of n. This is another letter which bears some relationship to the preceding one, such as alef/he and yod/kaf. The fish is an animal that lives in an environment hostile to humans. It has symbolized both the principle of evil and also, through the Hellenistic interpretations of Poseidon and Jesus, salvation. In this respect, it signifies the astrological sign of Aquarius. Esoterically, Nun signifies reversibility. This parallels the meaning of the runic letter Nyd, which means necessity, the 18. The Hebrew alphabet. Quality of turning round a problem and finding the solution that lies, unseen, within it. Nun has similar connotations. It has the number equivalent of 50. The 15th character is Samak, S. This signifies a prop or support. Without a support, many things cannot stand up, and so this letter represents the complementary qualities that some people or some things need in order to exist. The prop and the object supported have a mutual need for one another. Without the prop, the person or thing falls. Without the thing to be supported, the prop has no function. Samak thus signifies mutual independence that exists between people, things or God and humanity. Esoterically, it signifies universal being. It has the numerical value of 60. The 16th is Ayin or Ain, with the value of 0. This signifies the I. In human terms, Ayin is the physical equivalent of He. It is through the eye that we see, and Ayin therefore represents the ability to perceive all things. It is a character of vision, esoterically representing foresight, the power to see the processes at work within events. Ayin parallels the Greek letter Omicron, which represents the sun and its light, creating the necessary conditions for us to see. Astrologically, Ayin is related to the constellation Ophiuchus, and the sign of Scorpio. It has the numerical value of 70. 17th comes Pe, the letter P, meaning mouth, the seat of speech, so this letter is one of eloquence and command. Just as a person's words may outlive his or her physical body, the esoteric significance of this character is immortality. It is the origin of the word, the primal vibration from which emanated material existence. In this respect, Pe is equivalent to the runic letter Porth. This character has the esoteric meaning of the womb of the cosmic mother, from which emanates existence itself. Astrologically, Pe corresponds with the constellation of Andromeda and the zodiacal sign of Pisces. Pe's numerical equivalent is 80. Sadi, Said or Sadi is the 18th letter, with the value of TZ, representing a fish hook or a javelin. The hook is the means times by which the terrestrial human can catch the aquatic. 19. Magical alphabets. Fish. This character therefore represents the instrument for which things in one element may be taken into another element, linking two separate worlds, the penetration of one by another in order that something may be removed from it. Symbolically, Sadi represents the shadow or reflection of any given thing, the necessary opposite that any state of being must bring with it. It has the number equivalent of 90. Koth, the 19th, signifies the back of the head, the part of the body which it is not possible for the individual to see directly. Esoterically, Koth signifies the light, that inner illumination that cannot be experienced directly through the five senses. It is the result of God's command, Yeror. Let there be light. Koth represents the sound Q, and its astrological correspondence is Gemini. It has the numerical value of 100. Resh is the 20th Hebrew character which has the phonetic value of R. It is another of those letters whose meaning is related to the previous one. In this case, it is the middle of three. Technically, it can be considered to incorporate both the preceding and subsequent letters, for Resh represents the head and, esoterically, recognition, which in any human is primarily based upon the appearance of someone's face. This letter has the numerical value of 200. 21st comes Shin, Sh, which represents the teeth, the means by which we can make food edible. When the body decays, and even the bones are reduced to dust, it is the teeth that remain as the last material traces of physical being. Yet they can be lost whilst the body yet lives. In both their aspects of eating, loss and long existence, Shin as the 10th is connected with consumption and transformation. Esoterically, it is the divine fire that transforms one state into another. In Christian Kabbalistic terms, it is the illuminating fire of the Holy Spirit, transforming the material into the spiritual. Added to the four-letter name of God, it brings into being the Messiah. Shin's numerical equivalent is 300. The final, 22nd, Hebrew character is To, with the value of Th. This represents both the phallus and the sign of the cross, the mark of the chosen ones. As a symbol, it is cognate with 20. The Hebrew alphabet. The ancient Egyptian sign of life, the Angkor Crux Ansata. According to some Christian Kabbalistic thought, all those who do not bear the mark of the To are doomed to perish. To has the numerical value of 400, the highest single-figure number in the Hebrew counting system. Esoterically, this represents the 400 Sephiroth of the four worlds, which is synthesis. It is the completion of the utterance of God, and thus encompasses creation.